there's training to be done. I mean, we've got another hour, so we're going to be doing
For sure.
a lot of training now. Just rehearsals. I'm more interested not in the golf ball hits. I'm more interested in what you do before you hit a golf ball. Because the golf ball's like a test. It's an exam. So you'll get a result, but are you changing anything in the exam? No, you're just getting a result to your test. Your revision is where you make the change, is where you learn. So it's your practice swings that you're changing your swing. So I want to see good 3, 4 good
practice swings.
Well done practice swings. Good, well coordinated practice swings. With a centered pelvis, with a stretch up through the body, and with a bump of the pelvis.
Right.
So driver out, rehearsal swings, you got the bands. So in between, do your rehearsals. Then I want you to pick the bands up. Then I want you to do some band work. Then I want you to pick the driver up again. Then I want you to use the pressure board. Yeah? So you've got all of this stuff here. Yeah?
Yeah. So I don't need a tee. So can we do it all in one go? That would be a question.
No, don't do it all in one go. I just want you to isolate the movements, use the training aids on their own, just to feel the different movements. You can do, I just kind of, the stretch is the first one, isn't it? Or the isolating them.
The stretch is first.
Yeah, do the stretch first to step off. Get that stretch up, so a good centered pelvis and the rib cage slightly to the right. Good. Then the bump. Yep.
Does that have to be a violent bump? Or is it just a...
It wants to be a smooth motion, controlled when you're doing your drills.
Right.
In control. Not you just shoving it across out of control.
Okay.
So I want you to really be in control of that.
Is that the right movement?
That's good.
Because there's no point training it if I'm training it wrong.
Yeah, it's good.
How soon do I throw the pelvis back?
You must complete the backswing first.
So I have to
Because
get
my
round.
concern is that you'll do it with an under-rotated shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your shoulder unit will be under-rotated and you'll be trying to cheat and move to base 2 instead of doing base 1 first. Base 1 is a stretch and a 90-degree shoulder turn.
Okay. But do I ping it straight after I've hit that?
As soon as you've hit 90, ping it.
As soon as I've hit 90, then it goes?
Yeah.
Right. Because I was saying, like, is there a pause or...
I mean, when you're training, I don't mind pauses because then you're isolating the moves. But I would say then you need to blend the two together so it becomes a fluid motion of a stretched turning body and then a separating
this
pelvic.
move, this move, this move,
Yeah.
this move.
But in isolation to start with is absolutely fine because you've got to learn it.
Yeah.
And you're only going to do that. It's like learning music. You've got to learn it one note at a time, not 10 notes at a time, right? So that is the one note, is the stretch and the 90-degree shoulder turn.
Yeah.
As soon as you hit 90, begin to shift the pelvis smoothly across.
Yeah.
Okay? Yep, good. Yep, good. Okay, have a look at this on the TV screen. possibly could have another 10 degrees of shoulder turn. But pelvis is great. Legs extending, flexing, extending, turning away from the toes, and then bump. Good stretch. So this horizontal stretch is very important. First of all, we have a vertical stretch, and that's the rib cage away from the pelvis vertically as we turn. And then in that vertical position, there will be a slight drop as we separate horizontally. Correct.
Okay. Right, so now I'm going to try that on this thing.
Yeah, good. Yeah, good.
I think I need more rotation, right? I'm not really getting round.
You could probably get you get more of a 90. Don't need to go past 90. If you get 100, fine. Don't try and do 120.
Yeah.
You pull yourself off center if you do that way too much. And then is there's getting that nice blend then, isn't there? It's blending the two movements together, right? So
Right.
and then we might actually start to feel around 3/4 of the way back, the pelvis is beginning to organise itself to go, isn't it? And that's how how we get the pelvis to sequence the downswing, to begin that downswing sequence.
Yeah.
And that's the correct order, is pelvis, then chest, then arms. Smoother than that. I'd say that looked like a bit of a sway of the body rather than a separation of the pelvis. Yes, better. Much better.
Weirdly, that feels more like a sway than an actual sway, but it's obviously not.
Well, it is a sway, and it's a pelvis sway. Correct,
Yeah.
It is a sway. The pelvis should be moving at least 11 to 14 centimetres across.
Yeah.
So it is a sway.
Yeah.
It's
But
a
I mean,
straight
I know what you mean,
line,
'cause
linear.
you're talking about
straight
sway
line
like that type of sway. It's just it is a sway.
It's
but
a pelvis sway,
yeah.
not a leg sway,
Yeah.
or an ankle and leg sway.
Yeah, exactly. Is that all right?
Yep.
All right, good. Do you think I need a wider stance?
Wider stance does help,
All right.
especially with driver and power. Your 20 inches isn't too bad. So
Because yeah, normally I'm about, I
What
guess
are we
here.
just double check actually. What we hit? Your game was fast was 21 inches, fine. Game 21 inches.
So that's okay.
You went to 22, 23, I wouldn't be.
Okay.
I'd be okay with that. Bump.
There's not like much going on.
It's not very forceful, is it?
No.
It's just
It's going across.
quite delicate, the movement, isn't it? Needs to be a little bit more forceful. Yeah, good. Try and get your shoulder turn first, though. Looks like you're cheating and bending your arms behind your head. Get your shoulder turn, then do it. Yeah.
That was terrible.
Good.
I don't know if it's just this thing, but I always used to lift my foot.
Heel's fine.
It feels, but
You
there's
should lift.
always
That's
a
low
hip.
hanging fruit is to lift the
There's
heel and help the pelvis.
but I find
turn.
that harder to do on this
on
board.
the board, yeah.
Is that normal?
Yeah, the board is because you're trying to get ahead of yourself and trying to put the board down to the left.
Right.
Up. Across.
Feels so weird because I just had no movement of the hips at all.
No, it didn't. Just was spinning out of it, weren't you?
Yeah. So coming from having nothing to like trying to put in a big movement is kind of weird for me, but that's all right. That's what we're after.
Exactly. You got to have the right feels when you leave here, so. Good, go over to the plates. Shift the board out of the way. Okay, so now just remember, stretch 90-degree turn first. I want you to do that first. Stretch 90 degrees. Good. And again. Stretch 90 degrees. Bump the pelvis. Good. And again. Stretch. Bump. Good. Have a look at this. Don't forget the stretch. You'll cheat and try and get onto the pelvis. Don't forget the stretch. I keep emphasizing that, but it's human nature to try and skip to stage 2. Yeah?
Right.
You must get the first bit right. That's better. Good. Boom. How much you're keeping your shoulders back, you will create an inside path from there. I guarantee it.
Yeah, because of the shoulder position.
Yep.
It almost can't not. That's interesting. That's pretty interesting.
Okay, have a look at this. So I've got the rehearsal on the right, the live swing, last swing on there. Obviously, when you do the big exaggerated rehearsal, you probably get your left hip past your ankle. But the reality is you'll never get there because you will swing the club. The downswing lasts 1/3 of a second. The rehearsal you're doing in a whole second.
Yeah.
So you'll only get 1/3 of this motion, right? So you'll probably only get to about there before you start unwinding the upper body.
Yeah.
Okay? See what I mean? But we got pressure way left.
I mean,
Boom. And then we've just got you've just got to get your chest through.
Got to
And
somehow
just stop
unwind.
throwing your arms at
I
it.
know, yeah.
You got your chest back
It's really
because
good.
your pelvis has gone across.
It's good
Now
to
you
like
just
there.
Now you
and
got
then
to
it
turn
just,
your chest through it because you just stall and flip. You just go.
Run that one again.
So we're going to shallow the club perfectly well now because we've bumped the pelvis or separated the pelvis from the rib cage. So we're all good here. Pelvis has actually got into a position, it rises up and gets out the way. You've actually got your pelvis open enough. You just need to turn your rib cage through the ball. So where impact is here, you stall the rib cage and just roll and flick your hands at it instead of actually turning the rib cage and keeping your hands in front.
Yeah.
So the next bit after this is to get your chest turning through the golf ball.
Yeah.
The handle stays in front of you. The chest turns through. You've separated the pelvis. Yeah?
Right.
You then need to move the chest and the handle together through impact. And it go up and around.
Like in that kind of.
You go up and around, yeah.
So up and around is like that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, good. So for me then, the next stage would be, give us your driver. So I'd be going halfway down, pelvis in its new position, loads of force on the left foot, and then
Yeah, arms straight.
rip through it. New position, rip through it. New position, rip through it.
Gotta get those arms out.
Bump, pelvis. Now bring it halfway down.
From here.
Yeah, hold it there. Probably somewhere down here. Now turn the chest. Yep. Bump the pelvis. Turn the chest. Bump the pelvis. Good, hold it there. Turn the chest.
Like that?
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep.
It's interesting. That's resembling the swing that we're trying to put into my.
But you didn't shallow it. You need to have the pelvis move. It's pointless doing that without the pelvis move. You just come over the top. Shallowing's done through pelvis separation
Yeah.
because the chest stays back and closed and the pelvis starts to square up and slide towards the target. So then you can shallow it.
Yeah.
The biggest shallowing piece you can do is pelvis. All this wrist stuff and arms down stuff. Yeah, okay, you could do a bit of that as well. You're going to get the most shallowing if you can separate your pelvis.
Okay.
Keep the chest back.
So I go.
Probably want to bring your arms down a bit more, get to halfway down.
From here.
Yeah. So up to the top stretch, separate the pelvis, bring the arms down, and then turn through. Good.
This is almost like a bit of a Tommy Fleetwood.
Yeah, I mean, everyone
Punch.
turns their chest through, all tour players, all Fleetwood makes it look very much hit, stop.
Because of his...
Gets his chest through very well.
Yeah, because he doesn't follow through past here, then it looks
Yeah.
more exaggerated than
Yeah.
everybody else that would be, but they're all over here, so you don't see the position in the same way. Oh, it's still wristy.
And again. Much better. Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
you've just stayed bent knees and stayed too low to the ground, but you're turning your chest.
And that's was the name of the game right there, is... Right, let me do a faster version of that.
Full stretch, turn. Stretch, turn, top of backswing, bump. Bring the club down, turn through.
I mean, that part's better, but then I've lost my legs.
Yeah, it's okay, I don't mind. I mean, look, we've gone across. The arms have come down. Turned your chest through impact. It's less wristy and armsy.
Such a different swing. Like, it's not even slightly similar. I mean, not that I expected it to be a small improvement, but I mean, it's so... Almost doesn't look like me anymore.
It's just night and day, yeah. Got to kind of get that blend of pelvis across, arms down. And then chest turn.
I think at a faster speed, it feels a little bit less awkward because you can't think about it.
Yeah. Still looks, I think it's still a bit flippy at the bottom.
Well, I think that's going to take
Yeah.
more than one swing, but
Well, not bad.
it stops there,
Yeah.
but at least I've rotated at least 15 degrees more there. That's got to be positive.
Yeah, good.
Let me hit a ball. You never know. It's probably going to go... Who knows where it's going to go? That is the question. Oh!
It went right.
That was unexpected. Hopefully nobody's in those trees over there. Was that this? Was that off here?
No.
Didn't really like that swing, but let's try another one.
Bump. So full turn.
Oof. There's no timing in my sequencing anymore.
Becomes all sort of very laboured, doesn't it? Trying to do everything with your wrists and your arms. So look, pelvis. Pelvis is better. You can see that, look, I mean, that's just a big old flip at the bottom.
Yeah.
Just a big old collection with the hands.
I mean, that was... Look, the shoulders haven't moved again. That's back to my original swing. That's just rubbish.
No, your pelvis is better. It's not your original swing. It's different because your pelvis is better. So you're better with your legs. You're better with your pelvis. You've got a better chance to get your chest through it now. But the chest and hands have been your life.
Yeah.
That's a lifetime of work to undo.
Yeah. And
Legs we can just teach from the beginning because you've never done and they've been so off. We're just switching them on. Yeah. But you've just used all your arms and you've just killed your chest and used your arms.
Yeah.
And your wrists. So you can never turn, you won't turn them off for months. Yeah, good. Well, now we're getting draws, right? So
that was a nice little...
At least we can start it right now because of the separation, whereas you were starting it way left and hooking it left.
Yeah.
So now we're getting a path that's 4 to 6 right. So we've got half a chance to hit draw. Now we're hitting it on the up.
What's the launch angle on that one?
This is 13. 5 on the up.
That's where I should really be.
So for me, it's the stretch to the top, 90-degree shoulder turn. If you need to lift your left heel, good. So big turns, big hand path, big stretch, and then pelvis. The rest of it will develop on its own.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
because the easy pickings, the low-hanging fruit is a bigger turn, a longer hand path, a bigger stretch up through the rib cage away from the pelvis. Yeah? That's the easy low-hanging fruit. And then after that, if we can get that horizontal lateral stretch of the pelvis away from the rib cage and bring the arms down to shallow the club, we're in a good place.
Arms down, that's an interesting concept.
Good. And I like the fact that you're hitting it right. Because you couldn't hit anything right at the start.
Yeah, it was straight with a fade or hook?
Yeah. All these paths are all right. You've got no negative paths, they're all positive yet.
Why did I whack that T2 now? Try and keep your thing not full of mud.
I've got loads of tees. I buy them in bulk.
I don't even know.
Feet started to slip around then, so I think you had a bit of a big lateral slide on your backswing because your right foot lost its footing.
Right foot went.
Yeah. Which
that
is your
probably means I'd...
Which is your big slide.
Yeah. On the way back.
I think you struggle with that right foot in when you're sliding. So you didn't get your stretch. You just slid across your legs. Good swing.
That's gone. Oh, it's faced the path, okay. I thought I'd suddenly come across it again, but it wasn't that bad.
No, it's good. That was good. Good swing, that. It's good little, nice little draw.
Does feel like I've got a lot of moving parts all of a sudden.
Yeah, you're not used to losing your legs like that, are you? Yeah. So you think your pelvis is the centerpiece of the puzzle. Now it's moving around. All of a sudden, the middle bit's moving around.
I have to try and...
Well, it was moving around. You had more moving parts before because you were sliding all over the place on your backswing, weren't you?
Well, that's true. But I mean, now I have...
Now
it was kind of one wobbly moving part.
Yeah, but
And
you
now it's
slid
like-
off to the right and never got back. So it was done, your sliding and your wobbly bits all done in about a second and a half.
Yeah.
Now I'm asking you to slide into a different direction in about a quarter of a second.
Yeah. And
So it's much more violent, isn't it? It's quicker, aggressive.
yeah. Didn't get over. Didn't get over it. That was a hip thing.
Yeah. Leant back, flipped it, took it over the top of the ball. You're just going into that now. You're back into that mode.
So somehow I'm not getting. I bumped the hips, but it didn't do anything.
You bumped the hips, you kept your arms up in the air, you turned your body, you come over the top, you leant back.
It's what.
So thing is now you're undoing all your training, right? So you're now back to more of your old swing than you was your new swing because you've not done any new drills. Yeah? So what you do now, when you're practicing in it, you will default. You'll go back to what you know. Over 6 swings, you're back to where you started.
Yeah.
Okay? So you go back into training, you get your tools back out, you get some muscle memory, you rebuild the swing again. You've got 3 or 4 good ones after you've done your full training. Because all you're doing, you're back to just exam. There's no training. Where's the rehearsals? Where's the revision? Yeah? And that's the trap you fall into when you're practicing. Everyone does it. Oh, another ball, I can do it. No. Get your tools back out and train the swing again. Reboot the system.
Yeah.
In fact, reinstall the programs on the hard drive again. A full reinstall.
Yeah. So let's
Yeah?
get back to this.
Go back to your band, do your stretcher 90 degrees. That builds your backswing back up again, stops your legs buckling on your backswing.
Where do you get these bands from?
Amazon.
Fantastic.
They're just resistance bands. Not the, you'll see the big thick one, they're tiny like that for ankles.
Yeah.
These are the big resistance bands.
Yeah, I haven't. These are the ones I haven't really seen very often. That's why I was asking because.
Yeah, I'll send you a link on Amazon. They're, I think they're several companies that make them. Where are we? That's the turquoise and yellow. Sent those to you on Instagram.
Yeah, I got them.
That's your chest through movement. But I'm more interested, I'm not that bothered about the through bit. We've got to get the 90-degree stretch first and the good pelvis movement. Yeah?
Yeah.
You got to, they're the two parts that we must get right every time and really build those fundamentals, basics back in the swing when we're retraining.
I'm not turning. And I don't even know if I'm doing it right.
Yeah, that's good. Just do, you know when you're doing it right, when you do 1, stop, hold, 2. That's when you know you're doing it right. The blend is easy once you know you're doing both bits. And especially got the first bit, stretch and turn and hold. Yeah, good. There you go. And go to a practice net and do that, because the balls in a practice net are free of charge. So you don't feel you're wasting money at a driving range. Go to a practice net and do it like that. You don't want to know where the ball's gone. It's form, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just good form. Not ball function where it's gone.
And with the current swing, well, the new swing, do I need to change tee height?
Possibly go up a little bit higher.
A bit higher.
Possibly orange.
Orange.
Yeah.
Orange. Is that orange? I hope that's orange, or is that yellow?
Yeah, orange, good.
I'm colourblind,
You're colourblind, eh?
Yeah.
Yellow then for you.
That was actually okay. Or it felt okay.
Good. And again, just do a recording this one.
Okay, here we
90-degree turn.
I felt I was too far from the ball.
90-degree turn. Good full turn. Pelvis in a good position. Bump. Good. And again.
Oh. I like bumped and then like reverse bumped.
Yeah.
Which sucked. I felt it going the other way in the downswing. I was like, where are you going? It's supposed to go the other way. That was better.
Let's have a look. Yep, good. Good.
That's way better.
Yep.
Let me video that one.
Good. Much better.
That was better.
Okay.
Yeah. Interesting.
Stretch, turn. Practice that, keep the pelvis in the middle of the stance, no sway.
Yeah.
Start to bump the pelvis. Bring the arms down. Turn the chest through.
And so if I concentrate on that, the arms will probably take care of themselves, right?
You do still, there will be a conscious effort to bring the arms down.
And by down you mean like this, right?
Down, so they're up the top, they're above your shoulders. You got to bring them down to your rib cage when you're during the bump, because then that gets the club on plane. You don't leave them up and try and bump at the same time. Want to go?
Ah, right.
Just a little, just to help them create some momentum and some speed.
Right. Okay.